Okay, sorry to interrupt, but it is now a little past 12:30, which makes it time to start our meeting. So at this time, for the next couple minutes, we're just going to be waiting for any additional members to join. And then I will begin now going through some Zoom instructions and etiquette tips as we're still just learning how to use this new system. And as you may have picked up by now, I am leading today's meeting instead of President Rosemary. So I will be the one communicating most items today. It is time to ring our bell. So I'm playing it through my phone. Hopefully you can hear it. Okay, so welcome everyone. Today is our Focus on Youth meeting. We are doing things a little bit differently because of the theme of today. President Rosemary has handed me the reins for this meeting, being the still youngest member in our club. So thank you for adjusting to this change, and it will be a great meeting that we have today. To celebrate youth in our community, today's patriotic song will be presented to you via YouTube, as I will share my screen coming up very soon. It's a YouTube video of an a cappella group at the University of Michigan called the G-Men. They sang the national anthem at a baseball game last fall. Please make sure that your microphone remains muted as this video is playing, so that you're welcome to sing along to the national anthem, but we won't have to hear you because it's a little bit challenging to sing together on Zoom. So I will start sharing my screen shortly here. Please let me know if you cannot see the video. Is it good? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The University of Michigan's a cappella group, the G-Men, and our
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Now, I have the special privilege to introduce our inspirational speaker today. Maddie Vorva is a guest on our call, and she has been a dear friend of mine ever since I went to Green Hills for high school with her. Our club and district has helped Maddie with funding her Global Grant Scholarship in 2018 so that she could attend Cambridge University in the UK to receive her master's degree in environmental policy. Maddie completed her degree last year and has stayed in the UK, working as the Earth Optimism Program Coordinator for the Cambridge Conservation Institute. Maddie has already made such a world of a difference in conservation and is continuing to do so today. She has served on the board of directors of the Jane Goodall Institute. She co-founded Project Orangs, which was a campaign for sustainable palm oil and Girl Scout cookies. She served on many youth advisory boards, and she was even a producer and host of a national TV and YouTube show aimed at empowering girls to develop an interest in STEM. Maddie is calling in today from London, where she is now quarantined, and I am pleased to introduce Maddie to you now for our inspirational welcome. And Maddie, just make sure your microphone is unmuted.
Yes, unmuted. Hi, everyone. It is such a pleasure to see all of your faces. I miss Michigan and Ann Arbor so much. But yeah, hello from London. So I wanted to share an inspirational story that you may have heard before, but it's a good reminder nonetheless. It's called the Starfish Story. So once upon a time, an old man was walking along a beach that was littered with thousands of starfish that had been washed ashore by the high tide. As he walked, he came upon a young boy who was eagerly throwing the starfish back into the ocean one by one. Puzzled, the man looked at the boy and asked what he was doing. Without looking up from his task, the boy just said, "I'm saving the starfish." The old man laughed at him. "There are thousands of starfish and only one of you. What difference can you make?" The boy picked up the starfish, gently tossed it into the water, and turning to the man said, "I made a difference for that one." And I think that story is a really good summary of sort of how we could all be feeling in these crazy and chaotic times when things feel very much out of our control. It can be easy to be apathetic or not sure where to start. And we have a choice to either be the boy on the beach who tries to make a difference for that one, or to be someone who stands back and watches. And so constantly sort of a motto in my life has been, if not me, then who? And I think that's what Rotary's mission really embodies, service above self. And so with today's theme of youth leadership, this is just sort of a message and a reminder that kids can be naive and idealistic and brave enough to believe that they can change the world. And so my encouragement for all of you is to take them seriously and to help them toss those starfish back into the ocean. So greetings from London, and enjoy the meeting.
Thank you very much, Maddie. Those were great words to share with us today, especially in these confusing times. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your day across the sea to be with us. Now it's my pleasure to thank our team that helped make today's meeting possible. So thank you to our setup team, Lori Walters and John White. They are providing me with essential support as I run today's meeting. Thank you very much. Our reporter today is Agnes Redding. Our photographer, taking on a role he was never expecting to have like this, is Fred Beutler. And attendance is being taken by Lori Walters and Barbara Eichmuller. Birthdays for the week. Unfortunately, I'm sure everyone who has a birthday soon is celebrating in a way that is not as exciting as they may have hoped, but we can celebrate with them here. On April 12th, we have Brandon Black and Ron Sligo. On April 13th, we have our past president, Greg Stayskull. Happy birthday to the three of you. We also have quite a few guests on today's call. We may not introduce them all right now, especially as some are speaking to us later. We have quite a few students hosted by Ed Weir and the Interact Committee from Huron and Pioneer High Schools. They will be presenting and introduced later. We also have some guests from the Rotaractor group at the University of Michigan, hosted by Bev Seaford and the corresponding committee. Thank you all for joining. I know your lives are very chaotic right now with trying to shift to school online, so we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be with us now. We also have a guest hosted by Daphne Schallbetter. Daphne, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, happy to. Meeting Leader Lauren, President Rosemary, fellow Rotarians, dear guests. I'm presenting to you, hopefully you can see her, Anne. Anne Partington is business development and strategy manager at Ann Arbor Spark. Most of you probably have heard of them, where they cultivate a network of business and manufacturing excellence. And she's also on the board as an advisor for Green Route, which is a startup app helping drivers reduce emissions. So welcome, and yeah, let's show her a good time. So hopefully she will join us as a Rotarian soon.
Thank you, Daphne.
Thank you, Daphne, and welcome, Anne. Do any other members have guests today that they would like to introduce? Okay, hearing nothing, I will move on to introducing my own guests. I have my partner, Chris Wentland, with me here today. He is a third-year PhD student. He's an engineer, aerospace engineer at the University of Michigan. You may have seen him before at a meeting, so he's now here by video. And we are also joined by my mother, Therese Heinonen. She is Vice President of Clinical Operations at Dalcor Pharmaceuticals, the same company I work for. So welcome to both of you. Now we're moving on to some announcements for our club. There are just a few to go through before I hand it over to President Rosemary for her presidential update. One thing that was brought to our attention earlier this week is that a member tried to make some food donations to food gatherers because we had our drive recently, and now we are continuing to support other food drives held by food gatherers. She had difficulty dropping those materials off at the food gatherer's location because it seemed like both the hours that we had listed on our website and on food gatherer's website were incorrect. The best place to go if you would like to make physical donations to food gatherers is the location that Michigan Medicine is now collecting for them. This is Dock 90 at 2800 Plymouth Road. This is the North Campus Research Complex, or the old Pfizer building. So if you'd like to donate food, please go to Dock 90 of 2800 Plymouth Road. I have an additional request for members, specifically committee chairs right now. We have been going through our website trying to make some updates to outdated information. This may apply to you if things have changed given this COVID-19 situation with committee meetings being altered or canceled. Please, I ask that you review your sections of the website and then email me with any changes you would like. I would very much appreciate your help with making sure all of the content online is up to date. Now I will hand it over to President Rosemary to give us her presidential update.
Greetings, fellow Rotarians, and thank you very much, Lauren, for being a leader today. A special shout out to you, and a special shout out to all the youth who have joined our call. We're so glad you're here. We appreciate you so much. Well, as usual, when I speak to the club, I generally have 3 comments to make, and that's true today too. I, first of all, want to say that we can't hunker down. It's so important that we can shelter in place and we can stay at home, we can stay safe, but we cannot hunker down at this point in time. Rotary's leadership must stand and be visible to one another and to the community as a whole. Several of our committees have done just that. International Humanitarian has gone, and the board has designated them now to reconfigure into a disaster response committee. And they continue to look for ways to help locally instead of globally. They redirected $5,000 from their budget to donate to a district-wide grant, and then we, the club, matched with another $5,000. So we have a total of $10,000 contribution to give to a district project that will buy personal protective equipment, specifically surgical mask and N95 mask for healthcare workers in our community. Community Allocations Committee also meeting tomorrow, and they understand they cannot do business as usual. These are not usual times. And they have $61,000, the largest line item in our budget right now, to donate to the community. Although they are in the middle of the grant process, they are deliberating tomorrow evening how best to use their resources. So I commend all the committees, including Public Image, that's keeping us going, and they are not hunkering down, and neither should any of you. Secondly, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate candor. When things look bad, we have to be honest with one another. And I so appreciate feedback from the committees and from the members. I need that feedback. Your leadership, your directors need that feedback. It was so hard to hear the candor from Rotary International, from Bill and Melinda Gates, and from the World Health Organization when they said we have to press the pause button for End Polio Now. Broke my heart, but I knew that was the right thing to do. And also we have to demonstrate candor and good fellowship when we're talking about funds and what we're going to do with the funds that we have. Planning on how to use our resources will require some difficult decisions. We have this year's budget to help us in the short term, but you know, we are in this for the long term. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. Everything will be different when we come out at the other end. And so we have short-term funding needs, and we need to think also for long-term funding needs. Pursuant to that, the Board of Directors established a new designated line item in the Foundation's budget called the Pandemic Response Fund. It's empty right now, but we'll let you know what you can do to help us out by populating that fund. And finally, we need all of you as leaders to take initiative. I encourage each and every one of you to be compassionate and gentle with one another and with your leadership as we walk through this together. Believe in yourself, believe in Rotary, because I'm confident that Rotary, the Rotaractors, and the Interactors will adapt and come through the coronavirus even stronger than we were before. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Rosemary, for those important updates and words. This brings us on to the more exciting part of our meeting today. We are going to start hearing from the youth that we partner with in our community. First up is Interact. We are hearing from students from both Huron and Pioneer High Schools today. I now hand it over to Ed Weir and the other committee leads for the Interact committee to introduce our students today.
Thank you, Lauren. On behalf of the Rotary Interact Committee, I would like to extend my appreciation for all the work done by our Interact students this past year. The school year is not ending the way we had anticipated, but today provides a good opportunity to celebrate all that has been accomplished. As you said, we sponsor clubs at Pioneer High School and Huron High School. Our Pioneer Interact Club President, Amelia Catanzaro, is with us today, as well as one of our Huron Interact co-presidents, Akarsh Verma. I want to thank them for joining us and for their leadership throughout the year. We had exceptional student leaders serving as board members this year, particularly a great senior class. I also want to take a moment to mention a few people that supported our Interact activities this year. Arthur Williams, Youth Development Director. Linda Carter. Linda served as Rotary Liaison to the Pioneer Interact Club, did a great job. Committee members, Joyce Hunter, MJ Robb, Steve Pierce. I need to call out Steve Pierce. He helped with RILA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and that was going to happen later this month. And of course, that was canceled as well. John Seff. John Seff had a daughter who was going to attend RILA, and John had volunteered to serve as an on-site volunteer for RILA. So we're sad about that, but appreciate their willingness to step up. And I also want to mention our longtime committee member, Chuck Ritter. Chuck passed away this year. As many of you know, Chuck was a retired teacher and football coach here in Ann Arbor. He dedicated his life to serving young people, and we were fortunate to have him serve on our committee. Interact wouldn't be possible without our outstanding faculty advisors, Jen Kunick at Pioneer High School, the Pioneer Interact Advisor, and Lauren Warren, the Huron Interact Faculty Advisor. Both have served since these clubs were formed. That's going back to 2005 at Pioneer and 2003 at Huron. That's a lot of years of service to Interact, and we thank you for all you've done. At this time, we're going to get to the students. I want to turn things over to our student leaders so we can hear about the Interact Club activities during the school year. We'll start with Amelia at Pioneer.
Hello, my name is Amelia Catanzaro, and I'm the president of Pioneer Interact. Let's see. All right, so just to recap, I wanted to start off and just talk about some background of what we're doing at Pioneer. So we have around 50 active members at our club, and our main goal is just to work with local businesses and the greater Arbor area through service and really just mainly getting students in our club involved with the community. So some ways we've done that is by raising money for local organizations, and I'll go more in depth about that in a second. And a way for our members to kind of connect with the organizations we're working with, we would love to bring in local speakers to our Wednesday meetings, and it's really just helped link the members to people of the organization so they can kind of see the whole organization as a whole and kind of link together the service and where it all starts. And then on an international level, we've partnered with Kiva. So we usually donate around $300 to a person who is asking for a loan, and our members will vote in the beginning of the year on a person that they want to give the loan to, and then by the end of the year we track that person and we kind of get to see how our donation helped with their success, which is really cool. And so some big events that we've done this year, our big partnership is with Give 365, and we do a lot of park cleanups in Ann Arbor, which is really fun. There's a few pictures over here. And then we love to work with Ozone House, and we've been doing that a lot this year. And some ways we've raised money is through bake sales and then holiday caroling, they're both really fun ways to kind of raise money and bring people together, and everybody loves food and singing, so that's a plus too. And then a big event at Pioneer is the Polar Plunge. So students raise money and jump into a big ice tank kind of cold water at the big house, and it raises awareness for kids with special needs, which is really cool because at Pioneer there's a lot of programs that can link the kids with other students, and so it's just another way to build a stronger community. And then our last event for this year was the food drive, which we were going right alongside with Rotary for that. Unfortunately, right in the middle of it was when school let out for us. So we took the cans that we did get and we gave them to the Bryant Community Center, because they were asking for cans right away, which was really cool because they gave the cans to kids in our community who didn't have food during this crisis. So it was cool to see that the cans we did raise and the money we did give went immediately to people who needed it. So yeah, that's the big stuff that we've done this year. It's been really fun, so for sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Amelia. That's wonderful to hear what you and your team are doing.
And next up, Akarsh from Huron.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Akarsh. I'm a junior at Ann Arbor Huron High School and one of the co-presidents. So I'll see if I can get my screen shared. Okay. Is that showing up fine for you guys, or?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So some of the things that we've been up to this year. So firstly, we did the Hope Crane project. And so this was spearheaded by members Dea Olegario, Anissa Olam, as are pictured in the center here, and Annie Chow. And these three really helped to organize a lot of times to make cranes. People, as they're passing by in the hallways, they would be able to, just sign up to come in either after school or during lunch and make a couple of paper crayons. And so these were sold during lunch times and at one of the meetings at Michigan Union, as is also pictured here. And they raised around $250 to send out to various organizations that were fighting the Australian wildfires. So I'm really proud of what they were able to accomplish. And yeah, so another thing that we did was the cards for hospitalized children. So this is an organization that's present in Chicago, and what they do is they collect cards from all across the nation from various volunteering organizations, from individuals, and they redistribute them to hospitals all across the nation and make sure that, those who are currently hospitalized have, all the support that they can get, because they deserve the world, and that's what this organization wants to give to them. And what we couldn't get to this year, we were working on planning our, let's see if it loads here. We were planning a pizza night fundraiser. During spring of 2018, we held one of these, and we raised around $500 for the Warm the Children Foundation. Sorry, I don't think this slide is loading, but yeah, so we raised around 500 during the spring of 2018, and I really loved that project, so I wanted to get it going again this year. But sadly, that was cut short by these unprecedented circumstances, and so we couldn't quite make it to that. And the Give 365 collaboration, we worked with Miss Pratt, Erica Pratt, for those of you who know her, she's the volunteer coordinator over at Give 365. And we were planning on doing 3 park cleanups for Earth Day at Vandermeer, at West Park, and at Gallup Park, but that was also sadly cut short. So one thing that I learned this year through Interact, and being a co-president, is that although there is strength in numbers, the strength in dedication is insurmountable. And when you have a group of people that are, very committed to any one cause, even if it's just 4 or 5, as I found in our board meetings, when we put our mind to something, we can get something done. And so that's kind of what's inspired me to really try and rally the Huron community behind our club, and to hopefully get more membership next year, because we could double the turnout in our projects and double the amount of projects that we have. So I'm really excited to see what next year holds, and I want to thank everybody for their support for our club. So yeah.
Thank you very much. It's clear that you and your team with Interact are dedicated to helping the community both locally and globally. So thank you for helping us achieve our goal. We can now move into hearing from our University of Michigan Rotaractors, who have also been very active in the community locally and globally. I will now hand it over to Bev Seaford, who will introduce our Rotaractors.
Hi, everybody. It is totally an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce 3 Rotaractors who have joined us today. I'll start with Sam. Sam, raise your hand. There you go. Sam actually has a long history with us. He was a junior Rotarian from Green Hills School 4 years ago, and I hosted him, and he was very interested in Rotaract. He was interested in what I was doing professionally. We have maintained contact. He initiated contact with me right away. You can see he's very proactive. I could see that. I could see he has leadership skills, and I am very excited to say that Sam is the incoming president of Rotaract. He just got elected, and I am thrilled to be able to work with him. He's going to tell you more about what his involvement has been this year. Many of you know him through Rent a Rotaract, and he'll talk more about that, I'm sure. We also have, I hope, I don't know why I haven't seen her on the screen, Christy Carson. Is Christy on the screen? Is she there? Can you see her, Sam? Yeah? I don't know where she is. There, hey, there she is. There's Christy, who has also been a dynamite member of our club this year. She was the social chair And there were all kinds of really wonderful and interesting activities that she planned. Very, very engaged. And the senior leadership, they call it the E-board. These kids meet every single week. And every other week is the full club meeting, and then on the off week is the e-board meeting. They are totally devoted and dedicated to this committee and this club. And then finally, Luis, I hope Luis, he had a class until 10:01. Yay, hey, there he is. Luis, I could go on and on, I'll try not to, about the tremendous leadership skills that Luis has demonstrated this year. I and Dennis, my co-chair, have also attended many, many meetings, and Luis has done a phenomenal job of making sure that they are engaging, that they are informative, that he has involved wonderful new members, getting new members involved and feeling very much a part of the show. He has been to every single one of our Rotary Committee meetings, our monthly meetings. He has kept in great contact with us. I'm sorry to see him go, but I'm thrilled for him because he is going to New York for a position with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So it's just indicative of the skills that he has, what he's brought to us, and what he's leaving, I think, as his legacy. So I will now turn it over to Luis. He's going to talk about the amazing things that the club has done this year. And you are also going to see some really fun things regarding the Honduras trip that we sponsored. Luis, take it away.
Thank you, Bev. Those are really kind words. And hey, everyone, although it's virtual, it's great to virtually see all of you one more time. Glad to see a lot of you right here and present. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. You can all see that, correct? Is this visible?
We just see a blank black screen right now.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's see if I can get that fixed. Share screen, desktop. Share. What about now?
Still the same black screen. I can see a
Luis,
mouse moving.
Yeah, we see your mouse.
You see your mouse, but that's it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Give it a go, Luis, if it's not working for you.
Yeah, let's see. You stop sharing. Now you see me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, share computer sound, optimize screen for computer share.
Now we see Lou.
Let me see.
Luis has started screen sharing, it says.
You see this? Is that a no? Just a black screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, can you try?
Yes, sure.
See if that works.
See, Lou. Lou, are you screen sharing?
Hi there.
You're on the screen.
Is that good?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go, Sam.
There we go.
Working?
That's working, yeah.
It's working, yeah.
Yay.
Sorry for that.
If you just want to tell me when you want to advance.
Yeah, just kind of go with the flow of the conversation.
Yeah.
But as Bev gave introduction, hello everyone. We are the University of Michigan Rotaract, and we'll start off with giving a little introduction. Although Bev did it mostly for us, I think we'll give a chance for each of the presenters to give a little intro to themselves. So hi, my name's Luis. As Bev mentioned, I'll be graduating. This is my senior year. I studied business with a minor in German, and as Bev also mentioned, I'll be moving to New York hopefully soon. We'll see how with the whole situation ongoing. It's difficult to know when plans are being made. But I've also been involved with Rotary for a couple of years now. I grew up in the southeast Michigan area, so I grew up in Canton, and so I went to the Plymouth high schools, and I was actually president of Interact there as well. So I've been involved with Rotary International for, I think, close to 8 years now, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. But it's been a really great time, and I've had a really amazing experience being president this year. And I'm sad to go, but I think Sam and everyone else next year will do a great job.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to also virtually see you in this still somewhat new to me format. I'm studying cognitive science and sustainability, and next year I will be a senior, and I'm fortunate enough to be staying on with the Rotaract e-board as the president. Yeah, I've been with Rotaract for a while now, and I've got to be a part of a lot of the great things that we do, and obviously we learn that all from you as the Ann Arbor Rotary, so we appreciate that and appreciate you, and having a chance to share what we've done this year and what we've tried to do is very special to us. And yeah, I'm excited to share with you some of the awesome things that we've done locally and internationally.
Hi everyone, my name is Christy. I am a junior and this is my 3rd year in Rotaract. I'm currently the social chair and I'm studying theater arts through the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. And yeah, this year has just been really great with Rotaract. I was sad to see it, we had to cut it short, but great to be here virtually. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys about what we did this year.
Mm-hmm. So, and also introduction to the people who couldn't be here today. A lot of the work we did this year is thanks to everyone on this wonderful screen. We had a team of 10 with the 3 of us and 7, along with 7 others who all did like an enormous job, tremendous job in helping us, make sure that each part of our club was up and running. Each one played a different role, from international to professional development to local service, to just making sure the club is running well. All the people did an amazing job, and unfortunately most of these people are graduating and not coming back, but we have a really new exciting team that we'll introduce later in the presentation as well. And so as to who we are, I'm sure most of you are familiar with who we are and what we do, but as a general overview, the way we kind of see ourselves is we divide ourselves into like 4 main pillars of domestic service, international service, professional development, and community building. This is sort of like the 4 areas of promise that we make to our incoming members. And we've made tremendous work on each of these 4 things. Same way on the next slide. This year we had over 550 hours of domestic service. We sent 15 students abroad. With the professional development, we had 12 mentorship pairings with the Rotaract and Rotary mentorship program, and we had over 20 social events, including intramural sports games, which is always a really fun way to get engaged with the club and make some new friends, which is maybe one of the most fun parts of being a part of Rotaract. In terms of specifics for local service, which is kind of the focus of what we do, and for specifics, we had 553 total service hours, which could have been close to 800, 900, maybe even 1,000 with the amount of service events we had planned for the rest of the year. But unfortunately, with it being cut short, this is all we have. But this is still a lot of good work that we did this year. We had 41 unique volunteers throughout the year, across 23 different service opportunities. In terms of what we actually did is a variety of different things. A lot of the times we worked with the local Ann Arbor 365, which is the Parks and Rec nonprofit in the community, and so we did a lot of good work for them. But we also did other organizations such as food gatherers, which Bev actually ended up going to, which you can see there in the photo along with Vic Rosenberg, which was really good to have them both on board for that, to have that kind of engagement. And Joanna showed up to one of our events as well too. So it was really good to have kind of the Rotary members kind of get a little more involved with our service events, and hopefully that continues on to next year, because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were very active with our social events this year, which has been really fun for me, because I think, as you all probably know, that doing service is great, but doing service with people that you consider your close friends, maybe even a second family, is so much better. So that's why I was really into planning the social events to make everyone feel included, like they belong in Rotaract, in our Rotary community. So we did a lot. We got to paint the rock which was really fun, one of those U of M traditions. And we did a haunted hayride out in Ypsilanti, and we threw a couple different parties like Halloween, Friendsgiving. We did a theme party of wear your weirdest article of clothing, which was super fun and a great theme. There's awesome outfits that came out of that. And we did like a study break on one of our general meetings before the semester ended last semester. And yeah, we had a really great time, and we have such a great group of people. I love hanging out and doing service with all of them.
Mm-hmm. And of course, one of the things we also did a lot this year that I think compared to previous years was involvement with, the greater Rotary organizations, which includes not just Rotary, but also Interact. So on the left-hand side, you can see there's 3 images. The first one is me, Caitlin Hermanson, and then a freshman, Andrew Schaeffler, who all went to West Bloomfield High School to present at their Interact Day, to present on Rotaract's operations and kind of some advice that we can give, and just kind of get a chance to mingle with some interactors. And funny enough, that was actually Andrew's high school, so it was really fun for him to kind of return back to his original high school. And Andrew's been a superstar this year. He's been super involved, and he's been one of the bright spots of our freshman year. But all the freshmen that have joined have been super amazing. So just kind of the level of engagement from them has been really amazing. And then on the right next to that photo, you have a photo of me, Christy, and Robert at the Rotaract conference at Wayne State University, which was also another opportunity to engage with people who are our age and have some really cool ideas and stuff that I think will actually we implemented this year or will be implementing soon. So those, unfortunately, some of those conferences were cut short for this year, but good thing we got that one in the first semester to get that dialogue started. And then with Rotary, we have a whole list of stuff that we've done with, the Ann Arbor Rotary. But one of the ones at the beginning of the year is the charter dinner. We invite the Rotarians to come and eat with the new members. And there we have a picture of a snippet of some of the new members that were able to come to the charter dinner. And having them get a chance to meet the Rotarians at the very beginning of their, Rotary experience was, it's always really good to have that.
Yeah, and one of my jobs as the treasurer this year was organizing and somewhat reorganizing the Rent-A-Rotaractor program that we do. So for those of you who don't know what that is, we kind of hire ourselves out in a way to raise funds for our group. And just so some of the numbers for this year, we did 275 hours of work. We met and served 17 Rotarians, and we made a little bit more than $3,600. And something that Bev and Dennis and everyone on the Rotaract committee have been really helpful with is kind of emphasizing this Rent-A-Rotaractor program, because it really is the perfect way for us to make connections with Rotarians and hear about the positive impact that they've kind of had through their careers and through volunteer work, and especially through Rotary. And then the dollar value is also incredibly important, just in helping us send people to our international trips, as well as supporting some of those international partners that we have, like Honduras Child Alliance and like Jonathan, who we're sponsoring through Unbound. And we just have really good relationships with these people, and it means the world to us as a club to be able to continue to kind of show our support and give ourselves and our money in supporting them and their missions. So that really means a lot to me and a lot to us as a club. So thank you guys for hiring us and letting us rake your lawns and all that jazz. So I hope that there will be plenty of leaves needing to be collected next year and lawns to be snow blown. So thank you.
And additionally to providing mentorship and financial support in that way, you also provide as a source of leadership for us through the Rotary activities, but also coming into our general members and speaking on different topics that are both, whether they be about leadership or just cool stories. We were lucky enough to have 2 guest speakers this year, with one that was supposed to come, but unfortunately with the situation we had to cancel. But the 2 we did have are pictured here, and they both gave amazing speeches, and our members we had a survey that kind of to gauge, what our members really liked from our club, what they wanted to see more of, what they wanted to see less of. And, guest speakers was one of the things that nearly everyone raved about. They really enjoyed the guest speakers from Rotary, and, the kind of the content they were providing, and just the engagement with them was really, really good. And so we really thank you all for, we thank these two in particular for coming, and we want to thank you all for kind of providing that connection to us, because, it's always good to have them come speak. And lastly, or not lastly, but one of the most important things is the international trip. And so we have one of the people who went on the trip, Sarah Ong, actually made a video. It's a short little 2-minute video that hopefully plays. And they'll show the video, and then afterwards, Christy will kind of talk about the trip and her experiences on the trip, and kind of what their goal was there and what they did.
Driving with you in my car, can't get us very far, 'cause all I wanna do is put my arms around you. Cruising with the windows down, all across this beat of town, dreaming about forever with you. We've never known another place, both of us have dreams to chase, bigger than this town and what it has to give us. All I really wanna do is spend the future life is to believe a little bit of you. You said, baby, let's take this love alone. Never look back until we catch the sun. Think of just how far we've come, silence every time you say time is coming for me. Good or what time has just begun, drop dead and call my blood, going through the faces with you. You said, let's take this time. Never look back until you catch the sun.
Nice.
I'm glad that video worked, and I'm sure Christy will say something about it in a minute, but I also had the chance to help organize the trip to El Porvenir last year as well. And I hope you saw in that video kind of the socializing and communicating with kind of the long-term volunteers who are also with HCA is actually one of kind of the most special parts about going on the international trip. And I think that really just kind of having those sustainable relationships with both people and organizations, and in addition to places, really kind of creates a perfect blend that allows us to continue having this positive impact.
Yeah, going off what Sam said with that, this was my first time being able to go down to Honduras on this trip, but I could already, once we got there, I could see that they already knew who we were and made us feel very welcome and knew that we were going to make a good impact, and they were excited to have us there, which was super cool. And it was a great experience helping them build that whole roof. So yeah, I just want to thank you all very much for helping us have that opportunity to do that, because it was really great work and an awesome experience.
Sam, do you want to say something about introducing the new club, the
Yeah,
new
sure.
board?
It is unfortunate that we can't all be together personally, but I'm just gonna rattle their names off. So I'm fortunate enough to be returning as the president next year. Julia Kwapazeski will be the vice president. Christy, who's on, is going to be the local service chair. Zoe Anderson, who's also a returning board member, will be the international trip chair. Alex Galens will do recruitment and retention. Trevor will be the social chair. Eunice will be the secretary, and Kevin Kim will be the treasurer, and Jen, who will be the professional development chair. So it's going to be a really good year. Next year, it's a bummer to have Luis and all of the graduating seniors kind of walk away from us and towards their bright, new, and exciting futures. But I think that we have a really strong board, and I think that our member base is really strong, and I think we have good numbers, and just kind of being exemplary of the fact that we can be together through this pandemic, and kind of, as Rosemary said in the introduction, we can come out of this stronger than we were before. I genuinely believe that on a personal level and as a member of this club. We've been communicating and are already getting really excited about what we can do next year, as well as even this summer, just to take care of those in the communities around us, and those in the communities that are being kind of impacted more by the coronavirus outbreak. So it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that the year ended a little bit short. The same, if you want to go to the next slide. We're pretty much wrapped up. All we want to end off is just saying thank you for all the continual support that you guys have provided us throughout the year. Special thanks to Bev and Dennis for being the co-leads on the Rotaract committee. You guys do a lot of behind the scene work to making sure that, we're still operating, or, pulling things together last minute when they need to be done, or communicating with the international committee when we need that last minute funding, or we need the last minute checks. There's a lot of quick work that you and Dennis did alongside the rest of the Rotaract committee that we really, really do appreciate. And we couldn't have done without you guys, and to the greater Rotary community, giving us the chance to continually speak and be, have you guys be our mentors in a lot of these ways. It was truly an amazing experience. And lastly, just a personal thank you. I think I've been here for 4 years, and a lot of my personal growth and leadership growth has come from being involved with Rotary. And I'm really actually genuinely sad to have to leave Rotary. There's a lot of people that have been really important to me throughout these years. Like I mentioned, Bev and Dennis. Joanne, has been there since I've been here. Sheesh was always really involved from the beginning. I had a personal mentor. I was a part of the Rotary mentorship my freshman year. A lot of people in Rotary played a big role in my personal development, and I'm really thankful for that. And we'll make sure to continue to be part of the Rotary community, and hope to see you all again eventually in real life. In person. But for this time being, this is the best we can do, and I want to thank you, and we look forward to continue to good work with your support.
Lauren, I imagine now would be a good time to stop screen sharing.
I think she's on mute. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I was on mute.
No worries, just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Thank you, Luis, Sam, and Christy, for a wonderful presentation, and congratulations on a fantastic year. It is clear that you have worked hard and have made a real impact on the community. And good luck as you continue outside of Michigan and everything that you do in life. And please come back to visit.
Definitely will.
Next week, when we convene on Zoom again, our speaker will be past President Collier Smith. He will be speaking on a parent's journey into mental health. This is a really important topic and a meeting that you will not want to miss. As we continue on with our lives this week, please do wash your hands and stay home, but also remember that you can make a difference to that one starfish. If you can, help your neighbors, and help our community in these challenging times. We are all in this together, and one small act of kindness can go a long way. Now I will ring our virtual bell. Thank you all and have a great week.
Thanks, Lauren.
Remember, the bottom right button is how you leave the meeting.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lauren. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Well done, Lauren. Thanks.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Lauren.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lauren. Great meeting.
Thank
Happy
you.
trails. Be safe.